A rocket for the Apollo 13 mission was launched from the Kennedy Space Center in America on April 11, 1970. It carried 3 astronauts on their way to the moon. The intriguing aspect, though, was that it had just been a year since Neil Armstrong's historic first lunar landing. As of right now, NASA has launched 3 missions with landing parties on the moon. Unexpected difficulties. The astronauts on this rocket were quite confident about their mission and their dream, having seen the success of the previous 2 trips. To walk on the moon was their dream. However, they had no idea that their goal would never materialize at the time. The misfortune arrives. They abruptly heard a tremendous blast in April 1970, while their spacecraft was around 330,000 kilometers from Earth. A massive explosion that rocked the spaceship. The warning lights and alarms go on in a matter of seconds. Aloud. One of the oxygen tanks was discovered to have exploded. Additionally, the other oxygen tank was fast leaking. The battle to survive. It was beyond belief for the mission control team on the ground. They thought there was a problem with the instruments. However, the spacecraft's crew could see via the glass the air was seeping. However, they also observed that the spacecraft deviated from its intended course to such an extent that it was now traveling kilometers away from Earth per second due to the blast. NASA's important pursuit. The US government reduced NASA's funding as a result. Moreover, a number of upcoming missions, including Apollo 20, that were scheduled for the ensuing few years were canceled. Because of this, the Apollo 13 mission occurred during a pivotal period in spaceflight history. NASA needed to demonstrate to the US government that space exploration was still worth investing in. Because of this, Apollo 13's main goal was to improve human capabilities for working in the lunar environment in addition to studying and surveying the moon's surface. The spacecraft components of Apollo 13. The spacecraft of Apollo 13 has similarities with earlier space missions in terms of design. There were primarily 4 elements. Asterisk, the command set. Asterisk, service module. Asterisk, lunar module. Asterisk, launch escape system. The Saturn V rocket sent a spaceship into orbit, with the command module being the primary section occupied by all 3 astronauts. The service module held most of the astronauts' oxygen and had additional engines and fuel cells for power generation. The command and service module, CSM, remained linked from takeoff until return to Earth. The lunar module was intended to land on the moon and was reattached to the CSM module when lunar work was completed. The launch escape system, LES, was not crucial to the mission but only aimed to keep astronauts safe in case of a launch mishap. If the launch proceeds as planned, the LES is ejected and discarded. A turn of events. Approximately 200,000 people saw the rocket launch from the ground. When compared to the Apollo 11 launch the year before, this was a tiny quantity. 7 million people saw the rocket launch. NASA discovered once more how quickly public enthusiasm in space exploration wanes. However, when it comes to the mission, this spacecraft launched without incident and headed for its target. Conflicts in space. Astronaut Jack Swigert faced a challenge during the first 2 days of the mission, as he neglected to file his income tax return. He requested a postponement from the mission control team, which offered a 60-day postponement. The mission proceeded smoothly, with the capsule communicator reporting the spacecraft was in good condition. On April 13, the crew was informed of tests on the lunar module and preparing a television broadcast. However, the lack of viewer interest prevented any television network from airing a transmission. Swigert was instructed to check the oxygen level on the ground, which was a standard inspection of the service module's oxygen tanks. Suddenly, a massive explosion occurred while Swigert was checking the oxygen levels. A surprising turn. The Apollo 13 spacecraft experienced a serious problem when oxygen levels in one oxygen tank were rapidly decreasing, and the other tank was empty. Initially, Mission Control believed the sensors were displaying inaccurate data, but it was discovered that the oxygen tanks were causing the problem. The spacecraft had 2 sphere-shaped oxygen tanks, one of which was damaged during repair. The second tank, initially mounted in Apollo 10, was unintentionally dropped and sustained damage. The tank's thermometer recorded a maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius, but the temperature rose to 538 degrees Celsius when heated using a heater. This intense heat damaged the electrical wire insulation in the tank, and NASA officials and engineers authorized the tank before the mission. The tank exploded during the routine check on the 3rd day due to electric lines causing a spark. The tank's attachment to the spacecraft's exterior was coincidental, as all astronauts would have perished if it had been attached inside the spacecraft. The only damaged panel in the service module was a 13-foot panel. What else on board the spacecraft was damaged? The astronauts had their doubts. Everyone now had a crucial choice to make. In what direction may they go to get back to Earth? Rotating the spaceship was the quickest way to return to Earth. However, this required starting the service module's primary engine. In the CSM module, the main engine was situated close to the explosion. Nobody was certain if the engine was harmed. Going in the direction of the moon and making the full circle around it was the second route back to Earth. The service module's engine would be needed for this. The danger was that it would take 4 to 5 days to get back to Earth. Did the astronauts still have enough water and oxygen? NASA's flight director ordered astronauts to turn off the CSM module and use the lunar module as a lifeboat on their return journey. The lunar module could only accommodate 2 people for a maximum of 20 hours, and the astronauts were instructed to turn off all non-essential equipment, including heaters, to save resources and energy. They ignited the engines for the first time, performing the first burn to follow the new route. This led to the astronauts becoming the first humans to travel so far from Earth, setting a record that cannot be beaten. The lunar module's design was not designed for continuous firing, making it a dangerous move. Critical decision and risky options. NASA astronauts were 400,000 kilometers from Earth's furthest point, with a dangerous time gap of 153 hours after launch. To ensure survival, they were instructed to fire the lunar module engine a second time. After the second burn, the flight time was lowered to 143 hours, resulting in a survival margin of 11 hours. However, the astronauts faced an issue with elevated carbon dioxide content, which could be dangerous if not eliminated. Lithium hydroxide canisters are used to eliminate carbon dioxide, but the lunar module only had enough canisters for 2 people to survive for 2 days. 3 astronauts wanted to live for 4 days, and the command module had several canisters, but the filters were circular in shape, unlike the astronauts' square filters. Challenges and perseverance. Local experts had to resolve a problem within 24 hours, and the astronauts worked together to find a solution using cardboard, plastic bags, suit hoses, and duct tape. They created a device to lower carbon dioxide levels, which worked. The astronauts were advised not to consume more than 200 milliliters of water per day as it could affect the spaceship's course. They shed 14 kilograms of weight and suffered a urinary tract illness. When Apollo 13's spacecraft reached Earth, they realized they had to burn again due to not including the cooling vapor in their calculations. Commander Lovell reset the lunar module, and the spacecraft survived the third burn. The mission was watched by everyone, including friends and family, as the astronauts' friends and family watched the unfold on TV. The most important question was whether the damaged spacecraft could withstand the heat impact when it entered Earth's atmosphere. A communication outage occurred when the command module entered Earth's atmosphere as radio transmissions were blocked by ionized air. The expected communication blackout was 3 minutes, but no response was received after 3 minutes. Could the astronauts survive or not? Finally, after 4 minutes and 27 seconds, there came a message from the other side. It gave the television viewers a breath of fresh air. The 3 astronauts are still alive. The command module's parachute was released and it descended gradually into the Pacific Ocean. All 3 astronauts make a safe return to their homes. Legacy and impacts. Despite the failure of this mission, none of the 3 astronauts visited the moon. Nevertheless, this Apollo 13 mission left its stamp on history, showcasing the astronauts' bravery in this momentous Apollo 13 rescue mission. On it, numerous books are published as well as movies. Following the disaster inquiry, NASA implemented a number of safety procedures in order to prevent such mishaps on upcoming missions. The Apollo 13 mission, a harrowing tale of space exploration, is a testament to human perseverance in the face of adversity. These brave astronauts overcame insurmountable odds to return safely to Earth. Their resourcefulness, teamwork, and the innovative solutions they devised under extreme pressure have left an indelible mark on space exploration. The legacy of Apollo 13 serves as a constant reminder of the risks and rewards of venturing beyond our planet. As we look back on this remarkable journey, let us celebrate the triumph of the human spirit and continue to push the boundaries of exploration. Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure through space history. If you found this story as awe-inspiring as we did, please like, share, and subscribe for more captivating tales from the cosmos. Until next time, keep reaching for the stars.